We're live!
Hey!
Everybody.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What's up? Well, welcome everybody, nobody, but people in the future, to the
Freaking Nanner Show!
Yeah. And of course, as per usual, we got the Christmas tree in the background because tis the season.
Yeah.
And we've got our new sponsor today, something that's very rare for some reason, even though it should be highly made. I don't know why it's so rare, but a friend of mine that I get my whiskey from got 24 bottles. And you can't get anything cheaper, and you can't get anything more tasty for the price at all. Here we go.
Whoa!
Early times, bottled in bond. Yum, 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 yum. I know Ryan says he overdrank a little bit, but he's going to have to just swig on that just to find out. Oh, yeah. That's a $25 1 liter bottle of liquor.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get it fired up.
Yeah. John Stamos literally.
Yeah, he called us a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to go live today because I got, it's like the only time I don't have shit going on. And I might just stop by. He's in town.
Yeah.
I know he just did like some concert thing.
Uh-huh.
But he flew here and he's like, he really wanted to come on. So he might pop in. He might pop in, everybody. So just stay tuned.
Yep. Kitty's real excited too.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where he is, but he's real excited.
Professor loves her some John Stamos.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, and we have some sad news about a loss, a gem.
A gem, a legend from the likes, things that could never be reproduced, to be perfectly honest.
We're talking about Look Who's Talking.
Cheers.
It Takes Two.
Look Who's Talking Too.
Just movies that changed many lives.
Yeah. I'm going to take these off for the glare again.
We're talking about Kirstie Alley. She suffered a short battle with colon cancer. Now, some people might say, that's a weird thing for a woman to die from. But if you think about it, when you eat lots of cheeseburgers and a lot of things
Weight
like
Watchers,
that,
then you binge and you eat
you get real backed up.
40-pack of shrimp all by yourself alone. And your parents were horrifically destroyed in a car accident when you were a kid. Yeah, some things happen to you.
Yeah.
What
was that?
What is that?
Hello? I think that's Chingy.
Chingy?
I'll be right back.
Here? Is he at the door? Let him in, bro.
Chingy,
how did he get here?
Chingy, where are you?
How did Chingy get here?
Oh, hello!
Chingy?
I want to come and see you.
Go ahead and stay here. Ryan can stand over there. I mean, Freaky can stand over there for a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and sit down, Chingy. Okay, I just grabbed me. Get situated here.
Oh, Chingy. Man, how long did you walk?
Oh, so cold outside.
Hey, Chingy.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Chingy's
Sorry,
back.
I don't have my glasses on today. I dropped my glasses when I walk in.
How did you get here?
I just take.
Dark.
I take an Uber, and then I take a Lyft. After that, because the Uber only take me halfway, and then they say, you get out the car. And I say, why I get out the car? And they say, you tried to eat my dog. And I say, I thought that was appetizer.
Jeez. You should be driving with a dog in a Uber anyway.
I'm not very happy.
They give you the waters, they give you the gum.
Yeah.
The dog, you can't have that? I don't understand that.
No.
And then China, it would be perfectly fine.
Speaking of China, they are very, very upset right now because Apple is taking away AirDrop.
Oh, no.
And that is how my people have been talking. The very bad
I mean, they
people.
always say airdrop's the easy one. You just hit the button and it just boop right there, perfect image quality, all that. So why would they do that in China? I mean,
I don't know.
they're at the fort. They make the things there.
I go to China one time. I have airdrop. I see a girl. I want to show my little spring roll to. Not a girl, a woman. I don't like that. And I send a picture with airdrop to show her my spring roll. See if she's interested. Now I cannot do that when I go to China.
Oh my God! So what do you got to do? Did you go get a Samsung phone and try to just share it regular?
No, I just take my PB out and I just wave it at everyone.
Oh man!
Oh yeah, you
I
know.
bet that works.
If they get offended, they go to jail.
Shinji, is it true that you're related to Xi Jinping?
Oh, it's something I cannot talk about to you.
Oh man! They'll probably put me in prison if I find out.
Well, Shinji has to go now.
Oh, Shinji,
Shinji just want to
you
say
came
hi
all
to
this
everybody.
way.
Please, nobody use an Apple phone. It's very bad.
Yeah, don't use Apple phones or computers.
Fuck you, Steve Jobs.
Oh, see you, Shinji. Hope you make it to where you got to go.
Oh, gee, my so tiny.
Oh, let's get Freak back in here. Freak, make sure you turn the light on so he can see you.
Oh, yeah.
Shinji don't have his glasses today.
Yeah, Shinji's a character.
Oh, Shinji. Yeah, you don't want to share all his deep, dark secrets. Somehow he gets everywhere he wants to go. Man, I don't think the man's worked for 45 years.
Yeah, I sent him away.
Oh, little Shinji. He might stop by. I mean, we expected John Stamos. So far, we got Shinji. Yeah, pretty good.
Shinji's the next best thing, I think.
Yeah. We've known Shinji for about a decade or two, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Shinji fell in love with our buddy. We've talked about it, Athanasius.
Yeah. Also, Shinji's been a part of a lot of historic events. He's the guy that brought the gas to that Buddhist monk that burned himself years and years ago, back in 1965. Yeah, that was Shinji. Yeah, he brought him that gas. He goes, "Oh, you try this and make you feel really good." I do a good impression of Shinji, don't I?
He's like, the guy's like, I was like, sure, just send him the gas. Oh, Shinji charged double. Yeah. You got to pay me first. Yeah. The guy had to give him, $50. It was only $1.75 in gas, but 5-gallon bucket or whatever it was.
Yeah. What else were we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about, since we're on foreign things, we must talk about the exchange that just happened from Russia to get our top tier person of the United States, Brittany Grindering, the 6'7" or 6'9" lesbian woman that has literally done nothing for the United States or made any money
and hates America,
and goes to another country to play basketball, smokes a little ganja through a vape pen or whatever the fuck it was, CBD oil, whatever it was, doesn't matter. You got to know the laws for one when you go to a country and follow those just like you would here. And then she goes to jail. Obviously it's a harsh sentence. They could easily not sentence her and all that, blah, 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 whatever. But then we exchange her for a guy they call the Merchant of Death, who's an arms dealer from Russia that was selling arms to people for them to kill people with. And we traded a basketball player for that.
The same people that don't want us to have guns anymore.
Yeah. And then we got, actual people in prison in Russia that were from our military, one specifically in Michigan that was a Marine that's been, I think, locked up for 5 years, still sitting there. No worries about him, but bring back the basketball star.
I did hear that he's kind of a shady person too, but still.
He could be, but that's probably why he ended up in prison, but still.
Yeah.
Like we're saying, who's shadier than a fucking merchant of death?
They should have just kept them two there and then we could have kept that guy and just left it alone. Fuck it.
They should have put it on national TV, so give us Brittany Griner and a couple other people we're going to shoot this guy in the head on live television like they do to us. Well, they don't particularly do it, but we could do it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
I don't care.
It's all bullshit and it's bad for you.
I mean, the FBI goes around and talks people into doing illegal shit and then gets away with it and fucking puts the people in prison that do the things that they talk them into doing. So why can't we do that?
Mm-hmm. But it's okay, though, because although a lot of woke people will be happy that she's back and all that stupid shit, I guarantee you she will have to hide in the shadows of the wokeness for the rest of her life. Otherwise, she will be treated the way she deserves to be treated. So she'll probably be in San Francisco a lot and New York a lot and whatever woke place that she can find.
Miami.
Yeah, she's not gonna. She's gonna have to be careful where she treads now.
Careful what you wish for.
It's not gonna be. She's either way. She's not gonna. I mean, obviously, I'd rather her be in the prison in Russia still, but at least she's not. I don't think she's really have the greatest life.
Yeah.
Her life is never gonna be the same again. So.
I mean, with her long ass limbs, and she's been laying down, and she's probably a little cramped up.
She'll probably be a novelty.
Yeah.
A novelty thing.
Well, the thing is, probably what actually is going to happen is she's going to write a fucking book. She's going to get a Netflix series, and then she's going to make like $100 million.
But like I said, she'll get a lot of attention at first, but eventually it will crash down, and she'll probably what will happen is she'll probably get a really big head, and it'll all get up, and she'll get too fucking famous and get too out there, and then she'll say some
spouting anti-Semitism.
She'll say something that'll make her crash back down. She'll do something or say something that'll make her crash back down to the bottom again, and then everybody will forget about her.
We can't talk about that. That was funny about Kanye West going on Alex Jones' show and saying that he actually appreciates Hitler.
Oh, really?
And he's like, Heil Hitler. And he's wearing like the thing over his face the whole interview, so you can't see his face. And he's talking about that every leader has some kind of good quality to them, even Hitler and all this stuff.
A lot of people, Hitler obviously was not
hilarious.
Hitler was Hitler, but I'm a strong believer. You always hear people like, oh, this could have happened and then Hitler would have died, or this, if we had gone back in time and strangled Hitler as a baby, this wouldn't have happened. I don't believe that. Yeah. I don't believe. I don't believe
he didn't create the Nazi Party.
Yeah,
he just happened to be kind of like I don't know. He was very strong. If you watch his speeches, he's very good at doing live speeches and riling people up. It's kind of like the Trumpism thing where Trump gets out and he just says all this crazy shit. And people are like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Biden, he falls asleep at the podium.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that it would be, and history would be any different. It'd just be a different person in his spot. That's all.
There were plenty of German Nazis that did some bad things. And then what did America do? Oh, America split them, I think, with Russia. Half of them went to Russia and half of them came to America and worked at NASA. So we could battle to go to space. They're just like, we'll take them. And then the next thing that happens, what do we get? Oh, they create a nuclear weapon.
That's like the same thing also during all the World War II shit. I know this is kind of just spreading out off subject, but
a bunch of branches. Yeah.
Anyway, Japan, they had a lot to do with all that shit. And they were torturing people and freezing people alive and doing all this shit. And in exchange for not imprisoning those scientists and all those bad people that did that, what did America do? They bought the information from Japan so that we could use the information to know all that stuff. So that just gives you an idea of like how fucked up the world is.
Yeah, everything.
Oh, look at this.
That professor.
Look at this.
We got to talk about the professor. Oh, yeah, that's a kitty.
Oh, he did the kitty. Oh, he did the kitty.
Yeah, kitty.
Oh, he did the kitty.
Oh,
he did the kitty.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, kitty. Look at him. Just look at him.
Oh yeah, look at that leg.
Just look at him. Just look at him.
Oh yeah, that kitty. Surprised that because we have the cat on there, that some like freak person isn't like searching torturous to animals, things, and going on there and like blasting us online.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't hold them like that.
Yeah.
Cats' shoulders are very delicate, and when you hold a cat like that, it can't fart properly. And if it had to fart while you were holding it like that, the fart would go back up inside it and rupture its spleen.
I am surprised that we've never gotten something like that.
There's literally all types of stuff I see online about stuff like that, like comments on stuff like I'll be like, oh, that's funny. It'll be a funny dog video or something like, dog eats peanut butter off pine cone.
And then, you can't have dogs lick a pine cone.
Pine cone. That genus,
the number one disease.
That genus of pine is very, very toxic to dogs or something.
Especially black labs. They're predisposed genetic malfunction that makes pine cones grow their anus so they explode when they take a shit.
I'm also surprised that there isn't some kind of weird person that has like a weird fetish of people holding cats or something, and they don't comment and be like, next time, can you hold the cat like this? Next time, can you rub the cat on its ears more?
Rub the cat, and when you put your tongue, can you hold her upside down and then put your tongue right between it?
Oh, I was going to tell you this before I forget. I had a dream the other night, another messed up dream. I can't remember if I told the first dream before on here, but I had a dream that me and Nanner had to fight some Muppet goblins, and that his mom was the queen, and she's the one that made us do it as a punishment for some weird reason. It was really weird. But anyway, this last dream I just had, I dreamt, now I don't know what this says about me, but I dreamt that I killed Jeffrey Dahmer, but not because I knew he was a serial killer. I didn't know anything about him being a serial killer in my dream. And he didn't try to hurt me at all. I don't know why I killed him, but I did. And then I was at his house. And then after I killed him, I found out he had all these bodies in his house and everything. And instead of telling the police or anything, I just kept all of it. And I kept Jeffrey Dahmer too. I kept his body, and I kept all his skulls and everything, and I just didn't tell nobody. It was just like, oh, this is all good. This will be nice. This will be nice for my collection. If none of you know,
or you figure out and you lobotomize Jeffrey Dahmer and you get him. You don't want him for sex or nothing like that, like he did, but you get him to like serve you drinks.
Yeah. There's
is that Jeffrey Dahmer?
For people that don't know, I collect dead things, dead remains and humans.
Bones.
Yeah, I've got some people bones. I've got animal bones. I've got animals in jars, and I just like it. It makes me happy.
Oh, sorry about yawning. It's been up for a long time.
Okay.
But we still want a skull. We've been talking about this.
Yeah.
Anybody can get a hold of us in the comments. Just if you got a skull and it's not legal to send it, all you got to do in the comment is say cereal bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And just comment that down below, cereal bowl, and we'll get a hold of you, send you a message, and we'll figure out contact info.
Yeah.
And it's not really going to happen. There's no such transaction of this, but for the fun of the show,
for the sake of comedy.
And then, just do that.
Yeah, but I will say, if that, no matter what, though, eventually I am going to buy everything I have. I gotten legally, like the bones and everything. Yeah. I am going to buy a human skull, and I preferably want one where it's got a removable top, so that I can use that as a cereal bowl and eat it on the show. Eat cereal out of it on the show.
And of course, we can get a Dremel tool maybe and do it ourselves if we have to.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's fine.
But yeah, and obviously, like I said, I'm not going to kill somebody and take their skull or anything. I wouldn't do that.
But if you've killed somebody and you're trying to get rid of a skull or anything like that, just keep it on the down low right there in the comment section down there.
And of course, after we do what we want to do with it, maybe we'll give it to the proper people.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just show up one day, knock on the door, eating a bowl of cereal.
Huh.
Yeah.
I found this.
Yeah, I found this cereal bowl.
It's a weird looking cereal bowl.
And I thought, once I'm done with these Captain Crunch.
Wait 1 second. We got milk pouring down your chest. There you go. Oh, there's a marshmallow. There you go.
There you go, sir. Thanks.
I don't understand. I still don't understand. I really don't understand.
Burying a body still.
Well, but I don't understand the sacredness behind human remains connected compared to any other remains. People do all kinds of stuff with other remains. They make shoes out of them. They make everything out of animal remains. They grind up the bones and put it in Jello and gummy bears and make glue out of it and everything. But for some reason,
your energy bars.
For some weird reason, the same material, everything's the same. That bone is made out of. You're made out of the same stuff. But for some reason, you can't do it then, or you can't even own. Like people are like, "Oh, it's bad to own that. That's taboo." Ooh. Like everybody that owns bones, like anybody like that's outside of that, like they for some reason their mind can't comprehend. Like, but then they'll say people will have deer heads hanging on the walls. I'm like, you have deer heads hanging on your walls, but then you don't understand why I want to have these bones in my house. Like, how does that make any sense to you? Like, not how does that? I don't get it. It frustrates me. Yeah, and I don't know. Like, it's just material. It's just.
I was just saying, you go out and there's a funeral home that sells you a fucking box.
Mm-hmm.
Costs a lot of money, a fucking box to put a body in that you've now filled with a chemical that hardens the body and keeps all that shit. They pull all the vital organs out of the body anyways. They take all that shit out. They cut it open. They put makeup on it and stitch up the eyes sometimes off the mouth. Mm-hmm. Stitch the mouth so the mouth's closed. They make it look all weird and shit and bloated. Sometimes they're disgusting, but yeah, you're worried about people owning bones?
Yeah.
When you got all these fucking corpses all stuck under the ground that do nothing for anything.
You're never going to see, like, I mean, obviously sometimes they exhume them for investigating crimes and stuff, but normally the plan is never to see that again. The plan is literally never to see that body again. But you're going to spend all this money on this nice looking box and getting them preserved and doing all this stuff just to never see them again?
Yeah. Like it'd make more sense instead of a cemetery to build like a giant structure. And then you could have like, instead of a wooden box that you can't see, you have like a plastic covering over it or glass covering, and you store like thousands of them in the room, and then you go up like you're going to the pizza portal at fucking Little Caesars, and you hit 7, 8, 9, and then your fucking loved one comes, and then you can watch it and talk to them and shit. That'd be better.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Back when I was younger, there was this thing. It was like it looked kind of like a little aquarium. It was filled with water, and the top part of it were you put batteries in it, and there was like a motor or something in there.
And then the little jelly.
Yeah, and there were strings that went down, and then there would be something in there, and it'd make it move around. What if we did that with people? What if we had these big aquarium things, and you fill it with formaldehyde or alcohol or whatever? You put your loved one in there, and you dress them how you want, and everything. And then you have different programs on the machine to make them do different things. And you're like, doing voice commands.
Your whole family like meet up and have dinners.
Yeah, you're like, Grandpa, hey, Grandpa, and it's like, like Grandpa, do that thing you used to do, and it's like. But yeah, it's like
they bury it, and not only that, but the families that get the bodies, like say some child molester died in prison or something, and then the family wants the body back, and then they bury him. Like, what the fuck do you want his body for either?
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand. I don't understand how people, like the sacredness people have with the body when you're gone. Like, I'm not talking down on like the ceremonies or anything like that. Like I get that, but as far as like the surrounding the actual body itself, I don't understand
Plus,
what's
there
so
should be
sacred.
no thing sacred about it because that shit's been invented, in the past few hundred years. Like,
yeah, well, they like we were. I think we talked about it on here, but for the sake of talking about it again, they only originally buried people to begin with because of diseases.
Yeah,
and they buried the people because they needed to get their diseased bodies away, and they didn't want animals to be carrying them around and spreading the disease. That was the only reason why. And the reason
makes sense. But again, burn it.
Just burn it.
Simple. Either burn it or you can chemically remove the skin and tissue.
It's funny too because if in other countries, say, and a lot of countries, bones really, to a lot of them, don't really matter. Like to a lot of them, and it's so easy for them to get the bones. Like there's like catacombs and there's like underground, like just thousands and thousands and thousands, millions of bones under there. And they just toss them in there and they're just like stacked and stuff. But then like someone like me that wants bones, I can't get them here because everything's sacred and like everything's bad. So if I want bones, I have to find somebody outside of the country to get the bones from me, and they probably just go down anywhere, just get it, and they're like, "Oh, there's a skull laying right there. I'll grab that," and then charge people like me $1,000 for it. And they just literally just walk in the backyard, and we're just like, "Oh, there's a skull." They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're probably coming from fucking North Korea.
There's billions, literally billions of human skeletons in the earth, and because of people's beliefs, like I just want to have a nice pretty skull. Hello, viewer. I'm just talking about how I want to have a nice, beautiful skull with a nice patina, just so that when I get home, I can wave at it and say hi to it, and I won't be alone. And then maybe once in a while, open it up and take the cap and eat some cereal out of it, and then do it at the skull so I can be like,
a little choco yum yum.
Choco yum yum.
Yeah. And you can get all kinds of things like blueberry.
Yeah.
Blueberry in there.
There's nothing wrong with it. People have made it wrong. It's not. It's the same thing as I have a mug in there right now made out of a bullhorn. They sell them on, they sell them
all over the fucking
They sell them online all the time. That's not weird. But because I want to take a human skull and make a bowl out of the top of the head, that's weird. It's the same shit.
Yeah. Except it's not made from plastic that isn't real.
I don't get it. Why am I weird for that? Why? I'm not.
Yes, Dave. You need a skull cereal bowl.
Dave, I love you, Dave.
We love you.
I love Dave.
Dave
I love Dave.
Is our only friend.
I'm gonna give him a big Dave wave.
Dave, I wish you were my son.
Dave, you really need a trim.
A Crimbish trim.
I'll get you one for Crimbish with.
Yeah. Dave, I wish you were my son.
Dave. That's what Dave does.
Dave. That's what Dave does.
That's what Dave does. That's me stripping, but I'm not really going to strip.
Yeah, I'm not going to strip. Here, Dave, want some of this? Yeah. It's hot out here.
So much.
What is this? What is this winter, anyways? We had one really bad couple of days, and everybody crashed. I know because I drove through it, and I actually delivered some shit into town in Indiana. That was all Amish people. I saw so many Amish people there, and I delivered to Amish people.
There is a difference between Amish people and Amish, though. Yeah. You don't want to mess with the Amish.
No. They aimlessly walk around.
Yeah, the Amish are weird people. You don't want. Well, Amish are too to me, but Amish is.
But they were fairly normal.
They must have been the Amish, though.
Yeah. Fairly a little weird, but fairly normal. I even heard a girl talk. People say that they like hide the women so you can't. I'm not allowed to talk to outsiders. Oh, I want you to be an insider, though.
But yeah, people be driving bad.
People be driving bad.
They're like, oh, this is a really nice day. Look, a snowflake.
It happens every time. And even days when it was snowing and it's not snowing and it's nice out, like people still be driving in the ditch. Like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, the only time I ever did something similar is I literally fell asleep on the road.
But yeah, the weather, we're not getting as much snow as normal, and it's been getting that way for the past few years. It's been like that. We'll get a couple good snows, and then it'll all melt and shit. Yeah. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's because of climate change. Climate change. Yes, the fucking climate's changing. It does that. It's been doing that forever. And we have nothing to do with it." People are like, "We need to stop this. We need to stop it." George Carlin said it best. We don't have the fucking power. We don't have that kind of
just insignificant little fucking ants on this gigantic planet. And if the world wants to shake us off, it will.
Yeah. Fuck it. Just leave it alone.
We're the most frail things on the fucking planet.
Just fucking
this little kitty right there, if it decided that it was man enough to come fuck us up, it would.
That's another funny thing is every living creature on this earth, it's born and it's just like, well, I'm going to go to work now. And then we're born and we're like,
I want to stay home.
We need to be coddled for 18 years. Now, I will say up until like 100 years ago, that wasn't the case. Kids usually were grown up at like 12 and maybe even earlier than that.
Case in point, my father, I think he went to 7th grade, and my grandfather went to something like
my mom didn't finish the 8th grade,
3rd or 4th, something like that.
And she's smart lady. I mean, but then humans, even if you cut it, let's cut that in half to like 6 years. 6 years, you'd have to carry this thing around for 6 years and feed it and do all this stuff, and that's not the case. We, like I said, we coddle our kids and stuff until they're 18 years old now. And it's so funny because any other living thing, they'll be like cracking out of the egg, and they're like, oh, they fall out of the egg.
There's no parents anywhere.
Yeah, they're all slimy and shit. They're just like, oh man, what the fuck?
And then all of a sudden, there's a fucking hawk overhead.
They're like, but if that doesn't happen, for the sake of saying discussing it, if that doesn't happen, if nothing kills it right away, they're just like, oh fuck, oh. Sleep slimy. Oh. Well, I guess I'm gonna go work now.
Which way is the ocean?
Yeah, like
I'll just walk over there.
Everything's just like flap, and then they're just like, oh,
yeah.
All right,
time to get started. And we're like, fuck, you gotta be 14 years and 9 months old before you can even get a job.
Yeah, we're like,
you want your baba? You want your baba? Like, drink from my titty.
Humans are
till
pathetic.
You're 5.
Humans are pathetic creatures.
Yeah. What the hell is wrong with
and
this?
One of the only advances we have over other creatures is we have memory, like ways of transferring knowledge to the next generation and utilizing that knowledge. We're not any smarter than people 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago. We're not any smarter than them. All we've done is taken information that has been passed on and built onto that over and over again.
Listening to a thing where they realized that we're like, we always thought because we had one of the biggest brains, that's why we're the smartest. But it's not true, obviously, because whales are gigantic. Mm-hmm. They're much bigger. But then they go back and they go, well, it's brain to body mass. That's the depiction of that creates. But it's found out, especially with like crows and shit, that birds actually have the best brain to body mass of all the creatures. And ants have much better brain to body mass than we do. Most of their most of their head is brain, and most of their body is their head. And so, take that knowledge.
Yeah.
And ants, you've seen ants. Ants do some crazy shit.
Ants.
They work together. Too.
Ants are the communists of
super
nature.
Communists.
They're super communists. Like the closest thing I can think of to ants that's human is Chinese people. But that's why they're so advanced and have so much shit, because they're just like, we don't care about any of
it. That's why they have so many people too. Even though they put restrictions on how many kids you can have, they still have a billion people.
We don't care about what you feel about this. We're going to be efficient. We're all gonna do it all the same.
And you get on the fucking train and they're like shoving you in there like people packed.
You're just a unit. And in China, you're just a unit.
Just whatever the country needs, that's what people give them.
Yeah, ants are
people a lot. Most of the Chinese people smoke cigarettes, squat down. They don't even sit. They squat and smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, what is that for?
They just take a shit wherever.
Yeah. Why is that? Whenever I see, I didn't even notice that whenever I see Chinese people smoking, they squat down and they're like doing like this thing, like got their legs all like this, and it's weird. Why do they do that?
I couldn't tell. I think it's just because they want to be on the go. They don't want to sit and relax, so they just squat down.
One thing, what's funny is, I don't know if it was the world answering my question for me or what, but I got Chinese food yesterday with Joe Mangi, old One Eye.
Jumanji.
And afterwards we got our bill, and they never ever split the bill for us. They don't even ask us if we want to split the bill. They just give us the bill, and then we have to ask them to split it every time. And I'm just like, how do, like, there's two guys here. Like, I get it if it's a man and a woman or some shit, but it's two guys. And you can clearly tell that, like, we're just hanging out. Anyway, I was arguing about that to Joe, and I was talking about it. And later that day, I'm watching YouTube, and I'm watching, like, things about other countries and traditions and stuff. And I guess in Asian countries like China and Korea and a lot of all those countries, it's not customary for them to split the bill. One of them always pays, and then the other person will pay that person back. I don't know why. It's stupid. It just sounds like a waste to me, but that's what their customs are in Asian countries, is one person pays and then the other person pays that person their half of the bill. Why? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, it makes it easier for the business. I guess they're working to make it more efficient for the business.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Did you take One Eye to the optometrist? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm taking One Eye to the optometrist every chance I get.
Oh.
I mean, the eye, if you don't make sure the eye works good, then you lose a little bit of
the unblinking eye.
It blinks.
The unblinking eye.
So,
what else were we going to talk about? What's inside our description of our video?
Oh, I don't know. It'd be hard to see, but we kind of covered, but this is something I was actually just talking about David Lee about this a little while ago before we started this. Is trying to figure out the poipus.
Mm-hmm.
The poipus of gay and lesbian community and trans and all that. Just trying to figure out. I want to bring up, anybody can tell me if there's some kind of fucking answer to some of these questions. Like I was just saying that I get that, okay, you're a guy, you're attracted to a guy. The guy can be feminine, he can act like a girl, whatever, but the guy still has a penis. The guy he can still grow a mustache. He's still got back hair and leg hair and ass hair and ball hair and all that stuff. So it still looks like a guy for the most part, even if they act like a girl. But when you got a woman doesn't have any of those traits. A woman still got her tits. But she got her tits, but most of them, when you see like a lesbian couple in a relationship, most of the time it's like, could be two ugly chicks, but most of the time one good-looking chick, normal chick that dresses like a normal girl, and then it's one that's really butch, like a man. And then they like to wear like terrible shirts and sports bras to cover up their tits and make them look more like a dude. and then they cut their hair real short and all this stuff, and they talk with a deeper voice, all this stuff. But doesn't that defeat the purpose of being a lesbian?
Yeah.
If you're attracted to a woman, I would think that you would want to be attracted to a good-looking woman.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. And now there's another thing I've been noticing lately, and it confuses me, is when a woman will be with a guy who identifies as a woman, but doesn't do a sex change. Like they dress like a woman, wear makeup, but they like everything. They identify as a woman. They have a woman name. They give themselves a woman name. They want to be called she, but they stay a man. They don't do a sex change. They keep their wiener. And I'm like, is that making the other person a lesbian or straight? Like I don't get that. Like, are they a lesbian or are they straight if they're with someone
so what's the sexual? One thing would be, what's the sexual thing? Are they having sex like a normal couple? Like,
yeah.
And if you're being banged by a dude with a dick, does that not make you straight?
I don't understand
but
it.
You like the idea that you're having sex with a woman? Because I could shave my beard and go completely bald and thin my eyebrows out and then just talk lighter and have sex with a girl. Like, my name's Tiffany or Jenny or Alyssa.
You know what I found out though that is weird? Well, not weird. I guess it makes sense. But still something I never would have thought of before. I found out that this lesbian that I know had condoms. And I'm like, if they have condoms, why, like, who are they having sex with? That they're lesbian. Why do they need condoms? So I asked them, and they said it's because they have a penis that's a fake penis, and when they use it, they put a condom on it because they use it on multiple people. So that way they don't have to keep getting different dildos.
Oh, yeah.
And that makes sense.
You can wash it.
Well, yeah, but I feel like that's, weird to think. Even though like human penises, they wash them obviously and everything, and women have sex with guys that have sex with other people. And I know, but at the same time, thinking about having like an actual object that's been in multiple people and just cleaned, just been washed, is still, I can understand how that's kind of gross, like, oh, we've had this rubber thing and a bunch of different women, and you just kind of like, we're like, yeah, just rinse it.
Well, you gotta do a good job. Clean it, boil it.
Well, yeah, I know, but still, I think it's just the thought of it, I don't know. But yeah, I found that out. I thought that was interesting that they just have like a penis and it's like their penis, kind of like someone having a gun, and then like they just carry it around. They're like, oh, just gonna keep this penis around just in case. I wonder if they have like a case for it, or if it's like that movie Boys Don't Cry with what's her name, Hilary Swank, where she just has it like always there, like strapped in there.
Swap it out.
Yeah, I don't know,
but they got that was the other thought I had is when I was talking to El Davio, is that you got the trans people. It's one thing when you're going from a woman to a male, because that could be possible because you take the hormones or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you don't transition, there's no marker that says that you're not a guy. You grow a beard out, hide your boobs. You could look like a guy. It's not that hard, and some women look like dudes already.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they just look like dudes. Sometimes they grow mustaches.
That's like when sorry to cut you off there, but when I was delivering for Sears and I went to this house and I was like talking to this old person and I was like, I'll be right back, sir. And it was like, they were like, I'm a woman. And they were pissed. And it looked, old people, the older they get, a lot of times women look like men. Yeah. Not all the time, but there are women out there, especially when they get really old, they just look like men. And they
said I had a Spanish teacher. Well, I wasn't my teacher, but she taught Spanish there, Miss Vergara. I think I talked about her before. I had a lot of beard underneath here. Her whole life, she was Spanish, obviously Spanish teacher, and her name's Vergara. But Yeah, a lot of beard. And it was a woman.
See, I don't, for me with women like in hair and stuff, like a lot of women are like, oh, don't touch my legs. I didn't shave my legs, and don't, they complain like, oh, you guys have it so easy because your armpits, you don't have to shave your armpits like that. You know what? Honestly, unless it's like really fucking bad, I really don't care about that. And as far as like the facial hair goes, if I see like a couple on your face, that's not going to make me think you're gross. Like, I get it. But if you have
everybody, you're a mammal. You have hair everywhere.
Yeah, but I feel like it's not shallow for a man to be grossed out when they see a woman with a full-on mustache, because naturally we're supposed to be tuned into women, and women don't have that. Like, and you're going to be like, well, now that we just shave it off and blah, 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 blah. I get that. But if you go back, so however far you go, you don't see fucking paintings of women with mustaches. Yeah. Like, obviously it's not been a thing for hundreds of years. So
I'm fine with most. I do have a little bit of problem with armpit hair. It depends.
If it's wild, I care.
If it's a blonde girl and she's got a little bit, nothing. But some women, you see like this.
Now, some of them it's almost like they're like
models are like showing it off.
Sometimes I almost feel like they're trying to make it like as bad as they can.
Not attractive. If I don't see it, I'm not lifting a girl's armpit looking like this, anyways. So most of it, leg hair or whatever, I'm not licking your legs up and down. I'm not doing any of that. So I'm not.
I've never really cared about the leg hair thing.
Your bush. I don't care.
Yeah, I do like it shaved down there. I do like that.
It's better. Just because obviously they're prickly hairs, and if you're down there, even if you're not down there, if you're doing stuff, sometimes if they got a thick bush, that can be abrasive as well.
Yeah,
it's that's all it is.
And it smells nicer when it's not shaved. And when it's shaved, it smells nicer, and it's just hygienically better. I don't know.
That's all. And I don't mind shaving mine, but I have to get a good razor because our balls are very sensitive. You just barely touch the balls with a regular razor, and that shit's like,
Elf can ice skate on my shit. Tell you what.
And that's the only problem with that. And it makes your penis look bigger when you shave.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So it's a good thing if you do that.
Just go ahead and just shave that off. Yeah. Shave all that hair off.
But as
donate it.
In the story I was going with the girls going into guys, it's fine. I can understand that. It can be possible. And it's not that big of a stretch because women are better looking than guys. But you take a guy that wants to transition into a woman, it almost just doesn't work ever because you're ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You're an ugly woman.
Mm-hmm.
Name one example. There's one, but this started early. I follow her on Instagram. Her name's Blair White. As far as men to women go, very pretty looking, but still just something off.
Mm-hmm.
You could never just see her and be like, that's a hot chick.
Yeah.
But then me and Dave were talking about our friend Jonah, which is his niece's friend, black dude that's gay, dresses like a woman, all this stuff. And we used to get all the time when we were at the gas station, and Jonah would be there, and he had a twin brother that was not gay, but they'd be there. These guys would be like, who's that hot black chick or whatever? Hot black? That's a dude.
Yeah.
Did you not notice from the fact that she doesn't have a nice ass and no tits at all?
Yeah.
And an Adam's apple and big hands? Does any of that give away? Like, men don't convert.
I thought it was funny. I watched this guy on YouTube. He's called Odin's Man, and he's an older guy. He's probably like in his late 50s. And all he does is put TikToks up on his thing and comment on them. Like, and they're all with woke people and fucking just stupid people. And it was so funny because he was showing one where it was this guy who was clearly a man, had stubble, everything. His voice didn't sound like a woman's voice, sound like a man trying to sound like a woman, just clearly was a man. And I've seen many of these videos too, where they'll be doing the thing of oh my God, I am so tired of going to places and getting misgendered. Can't you clearly tell that I'm a woman? And he's like, and it's so funny because he's commenting and he's like, no, I can't tell you're a woman. There's no doubt in my mind that you're a man. And there's so many of them where they try saying that they get misgendered, and I'm like, there's no way anybody will think that like you're what you're saying you are. You're not.
Yeah, here's one story. I'll try to I don't know if you guys can hear it good, but let's see. Yeah, this just happened recently.
Give me that Poshka.
It's
Give me that
trans man that somehow wins this beauty contest. Let's see. And we'll have to see this because it's unbelievable. Oh, it's not going to let me do this.
I'm so confused.
This is some TikTok video.
We need to do the thing like the fancy people can do where like we can show the screen of what we're watching on the screen right here.
I wanted the video, not a fucking TikTok video. Is what I was looking for.
Yeah.
TikTok's absorbed everything. That's another China scam that's getting you. You know, when you use TikTok, you're given permission for TikTok to be able to access any computer that's within your profile name. So any computer you have, even if you're not logged in, even if you don't have TikTok on.
I'm happy that I don't have TikTok.
I'm trying to find this video. We'll try to make it work. This is another fucking TikTok. But this is the one.
Oh my god.
Out of all these women, good looking women, you can see that one right there. This is the one that wins the beauty contest?
No. That's just like giving the retard in the, you know, like.
Yeah, giving the trophy
to the retard to make him feel better and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking stupid.
There's not one person on the committee of that beauty pageant that's like, that's the hot one.
Yeah, no. I hate that. I really don't feel bad by saying it. That shit is not right to do. That's what causes us to de-evolve.
Yeah.
That's what makes us weaker as a human race, is when you take competitiveness out of us and just be like, oh, well, I feel bad, but if you tell this person they suck, so we're just going to tell them they're the winner.
And that'd be like saying, oh, you know, the new Windows is pretty good, but we're going back to Windows 95 because
it'll hurt Bill's feelings because he worked really hard on
that one, and then he had his other people worked on the other one.
I think I talked about it before, but
like
this last Halloween, I went to this Halloween party at a park, and they had all these ages of groups of kids from one ranging all the way to high school and doing costume contests for them. And there was this guy, he was in a wheelchair and he could barely function. And they put like Michigan football fan stuff on him and made him a Michigan fan and gave him like a sign and stuff and put him in the contest at the end. And guess who won? He did. And he didn't even know. I don't think he even realized he won.
What happened. Yeah.
I don't even think he knew.
He wasn't planning.
I'm like, you didn't even pick that
costume.
costume.
Like, oh, you won $1,500.
He didn't even
over all these people that tried hard and came here.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, I know. And like all this stupid stuff where like I hate when I see these pictures of people that are like morbidly burned and put makeup on. And like, yeah, that sucks. And I feel bad for them. But they're not attractive anymore. Yeah. People are like, oh, they're so beautiful. People don't understand
how beautiful than you know.
People just don't see how the beauty. No, it's not.
I see the ugly, the disgusting.
I'm sorry.
Fortunately, it's not attractive. And I had this conversation with my lady. It's been a while now, and she got really mad about it too. Was that we were watching the My 600 Pound Life stuff, and then the ladies that are real super fat and you know their ass, where the dimple is in the ass, and then it comes out like a wing. So when they walk, the wings jiggle like this, and they can't fit through doors because the wing butt jiggles like that. That I said, if you had a wing butt like that, I just wouldn't be attracted to you anymore. Plain and simple. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
it's just natural.
I wouldn't love you because you got a wing butt. I'm just saying I would not be attracted to it.
It's natural. You can't choose. You can't choose like
what you're attracted to.
Yeah.
And that's why we say we're not trying to disregard people who are trans or are gay or lesbian or whatever. We're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We want to know the answers, and you got to be able to ask so you can get the answers, and then we can figure it out. How else are you going to figure it out? How can you know anything about trans people?
I don't really
tell you
think,
anything.
honestly, I really don't think there's anything to figure out. I think it's pretty clear, in my opinion, what it is, but people want to take it to a different level of what it is. And it's this thing that, honestly, the only reason why it's even been brought to anyone's attention right now is because I know it sounds like I'm being a conspiracy theorist, but it's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a big distraction.
It's a distraction, and it's also an attraction. Like the people who are coming out the hardest on it want the most attention.
Yeah.
And then, but getting the most attention, distracts other people from things that are really going on. And that's why we brought up the Brittany Grindr thing, because that's anytime. Okay, so say I go and there's two people standing there, and we both got these delicious candy bars. Mine happens to be a delicious Butterfinger, full size. We'll go with the giant fucking Butterfinger, the big ass one. And then this other kid over here has a fucking one of those little fun size Hershey bars. I'm not going to trade my big ass Butterfinger for that Hershey bar no matter what, because it's not going to be fulfilling. It's much smaller, tastes way less taste. I get more enjoyment out of this. So why would I trade that?
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing with the Merchant of Death. This guy's got a profile. He's got a nickname within the world known as something that we're going to trade something that big, this fucking king size fucking Butterfinger. We're going to trade it for this little piece of fucking milk chocolate.
Mm-hmm. I guarantee you nobody cares about her, but it is
political.
It's all political
PR
shit.
bullshit.
It's all stupid. It's all bullshit. It's bad for you.
It's not good. That's the type of deal. What are we going to make now? We're going to be like, oh, it's okay for China to fucking ban everybody from using the fucking Apple shit and fucking all this. Perfectly fine, because they make all the phones and all this. But we're going to completely disregard the fact that they're using basically slave labor to do all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Who cares?
Yeah.
When
they have nets on the buildings that they work at, so if they jump off, they don't die.
Yes.
That's a thing. That's real.
That's how people live down.
But as far as like the whole figuring out like this thing, there's nothing to figure out. It's what it is. Either you're a man who likes men or women or both, or you're a woman who likes men or women or both, or you're a man who wants to live life like a woman. Do it.
Yeah.
Live life like a woman. Nobody cares. If you're a woman and you want to live life like a man,
that's how you want to live.
Then you can. But guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, you will never be a real man or a real woman if you're born the other one. You won't be. I know you've heard this before, but when you die and you get buried and then 100 years, 200 years, you get dug up, the scientists are going to be like, that was a man. They're not going to be like, oh, there's a dress on that skeleton, so that was a woman.
There's a woman now.
Nobody's going to do that. There's not.
And that's the main thing we're saying also. This is proving to be truer and truer about this stuff, is that, yes, obviously there are people that have weird feelings in their bodies. They think there's something else, blah, 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 blah. But there's also normal people, just like serial killers, that come out and they become a priest because they can get to molest children and kill them or whatever. And that's just how it works. That's what we're saying. If you got a penis, you go take a piss in the boys' room. When you got a vagina, you go take a piss in the girls' room. Mm-hmm. When you change, you go to the boys' locker room if you got a dick. Mm-hmm. Same with a woman. If you're a woman, you got tits or a vagina, you go to the girls' room. But not fake tits. Those don't count for a woman or a man.
Well,
hold on.
I'm sorry.
And this is the reason why, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter about you or what you do, but when a little fucking 5-6-year-old girl goes into that locker room and sees a man's giant dick, it doesn't matter what you are. At that point, you are a sex offender.
Yeah. They're still traumatized.
You're not. You're pulling your dick out in front of little kids.
They're not gonna understand. They're supposed to be a woman.
Yeah, or women for that matter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a virgin woman and she's never even seen a penis.
Yeah.
That could fuck her up and be like, this fucking tall ass weird looking person just pulled its dick out in
Mhm.
front of me, and that freaked me out for the rest of my life. Now I want to go kill myself.
This man with a dress just pulled his dick out
Yeah.
at me.
Just weird shit.
There-
It's something like crazy homeless people do.
Yeah.
You just got to use your brain. It's not. We're not trying to exclude you from the world.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, they're not going to put a urinal in a girl's bathroom because girls don't have dicks.
Yeah. And even if you chop your dick, I'm sorry. Even if you chop your dick off and you make a little fake vagina, you're just a man without a dick.
And you've heard
I'm sorry.
what happens. It's traumatizing, possibly. You can't get pregnant. You usually can't have an orgasm. And because they make it out of your scrotum, in a man, there's chances that you grow hair inside of your vagina, which is very disturbing, and you have to go to a doctor to get that fixed. And it's not easy to deal with.
And a lot of them that do it regret it.
Yes.
And
suicide rates among transitioning people are higher than every other type of person.
yeah. Just live like a woman and be a man and just live.
You can have a dick and act like a woman still.
Yeah.
No one's you don't have to go through surgery that's only been invented in the past 30 years.
And like,
you see what happens.
What are you trying to do?
Wait 100 years, see what happens.
And what are you trying to do with that?
Yeah.
You think you're going to go find a straight man and he's going to be tricked and be like, oh, this is really
great
good.
pussy.
Like, and so like, that's not realistic. That's just real. I mean, you might, but doubtful, very doubtful, slim chance. Or you could just keep your dick and then find someone who love,
appreciates you the way you are.
That's okay with how you are, and just
when you have a real connection with somebody,
you can
instead of
feel
made up shit.
Have some good sex still instead of having a mangled up whatever down there. Just keep it.
That's the point of life. You want to be like, that's why it fucks people up, is because you got needs in your body. Naturally, you have needs. You need to have sex. When a dude gets horny, he wants to have sex, and he's gonna rub one out, or a girl's gonna masturbate, or whatever it is. That's the shit that's going on in your head.
Yeah.
And if you change that, you can't fix that. And then you got this weird shit in your head. You're like, fuck. You still have all the hormones and things that you naturally breed, but you take these pills that you think's gonna stop it, but it's gonna do the opposite. It's either gonna make you more aggressive or way less aggressive or something. And that's going to fuck you up even more. And then your body's out of fucking whack. Like, you're made to be a certain way. It's hormones in your body. Cancer, all that stuff is affected by the way you take care of your body. That's why women that take fucking birth control pills, it changes their hormones. It makes them all fucked up. They gain weight, they lose weight, they act crazy. They have all these problems, and they're linking that to lots of cancers, and they're linking that to all kinds of shit. So
it's all bullshit, and it's bad for you.
It's not good for you to change your biology.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. Enjoy what you have while you have it.
Yeah.
And maybe one thing you could do is we could get all the men together and say, stop cutting our foreskin off.
Yeah. Because that makes you more sensitive when you have that, and it makes you feel better.
It makes it feel better, and then we'll be more like women because we have all our parts.
Yeah.
You can have a better orgasm.
Yeah. I saw, did I show you that? Did I ever send you that? There was there was a big group of people right on the corner by your work. Like, this was like months ago. They all had signs saying, circumcision is child abuse and stuff like, I didn't ask to have my foreskin taken back. And one guy had one that said, I want my foreskin back. It was a real thing too. It wasn't supposed to be funny. They were pissed. And,
give me my hiding little turtle back.
No, I would like to feel how it would feel.
I would like to know.
I'd like to have it, but I will say, what if I couldn't handle it? What if it was too good? And I was like, like I get it back. Like somehow they could reverse it. Like I get a foreskin anectomy or whatever, and they reverse it, and they're like, well, Mr. Yarrington, it's been a success. You have all of your pleasure back or whatever. And I'm like, all right, bitch. Here comes my uncircumcised dick. Yeah. And I'm like, it feels so good. And I'm like, shit. Should have just kept it circumcised. Damn it. Now they call me one pump chump. Oh, there's one pump over there.
I don't know. I feel like you'd be closer to a woman probably if you had the foreskin, because the skin moves around. It probably has like a resistance or something. So maybe it'd even make you last longer. Maybe more intense, body tense, like a woman or something.
Maybe like that foreskin would make like a ribby thing, like a kind of like the rib thing.
Rib for your pleasure.
Yeah.
For her pleasure.
Maybe, I don't know.
You just have to
ladies
do a little
out there,
more cleaning. That's
ladies out there, if you've had sex with an uncircumcised man, let us know if it's any better than the circumcised ones. Let us know what the difference is, if there is any. Then, we'd like to know. Are they smelly?
Well, no, they can't. Well, some could, I imagine.
Well, because they said that sometimes you gotta make sure they're cleaner.
Yeah, you
gotta get in there.
Better chance for a yeast infection.
You gotta get that cheddar out of there.
But it's just like, I imagine it's like turning your blinker in a car. You just pull that skin back with the 2 fingers. And
shouldn't be hard. Shouldn't be
hard about that.
I mean, there are some.
That's what you got to do to get more pleasure.
Yeah, there are some lazy people out there that probably definitely don't do that, but it should be, because just like the blinker thing, people don't use the blinker. The people that don't use the blinker are probably the same fucking people that don't clean their nasty ass dick.
Their dick skin.
Yeah, they probably got nasty dicks and nasty fucking.
That's how Harvey Weinstein got gangrene dick, probably. Fucking nasty motherfuckers. I heard that too. Quentin Tarantino, he hasn't even started working on his last movie that he's going to do, his 10th and final movie, but he has finished. I don't know what it's going to be on or when it's going to come out, but has done an 8-part series.
You know what I thought was crazy is I was reading about Quentin Tarantino the other day, and obviously it's his movies. He can have whatever opinion he wants, but he, in his opinion, thinks that that last movie he made with
his best.
Yeah, he thinks that's his best movie, the one with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, crappy.
Yeah, he thinks that's his best movie.
I don't. A lot of people love it, though.
I've never watched it because it doesn't look like a movie I want to watch. So I'm just like,
That's fine.
Does it even have people get killed in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically an actor that's out of work, which is Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like a cowboy in like all their movies or whatever. And then Brad Pitt's like his stunt double.
Yeah.
And they're like best friends or whatever. And Brad Pitt's kind of a loser, but there's like a backstory of Brad Pitt where he may have murdered his wife. And then Leonardo DiCaprio's kind of washed up and he's getting all these shitty movies. He might have to go to like Italy and make spaghetti Western type movies and shit like that. And they get in detail, but it's got elements with Bruce Lee in it. It shows some Bruce Lee shit from a movie, and then it's got it intertwines with the Manson murders.
Yeah.
And then you get to see that, so that's interesting. They change, obviously. It's not the actual story, so it's all changed around.
Have you seen that movie Bullet Train?
No.
It's got Brad Pitt.
And I heard about it.
I saw a clip of it, and it looked interesting where he's like fighting this chick, and then Brad Pitt's fighting this chick, and then she's got like a shot, and she like stabs it at him, and then she doesn't push the thing down, so then he takes it and he stabs it in her and pushes it down, and then he's like, the venom takes 30 seconds to activate, and then he's like, they're just watching each other, and then she goes to pull out the antivenom, and then he grabs her hand and stabs himself with it. So,
okay.
And then she's like, "You motherfucker!" He's like, "I hope you have 2 of those." And then she's like, "What do you fucking think?" And then blood starts coming out of her eyes and her nose and her mouth, and she's like, "Ah!" And she falls down, and I'm like, "Yeah."
There's Bullet. I've seen something about it, but there's so many of these weird movies now. They keep doing them over and over, where they're like murder mystery movies. And I don't know if that's one of those or if it's just an action movie or what it is. But most of them are really boring.
Yeah.
Like they all seem to suck. And they got a new one coming out, which is like a second part to one that me and my old lady watched a while back. It's got
Knives Out?
Yeah, Knives Out.
Yeah.
That one with Edward Norton. And the first Knives Out was fine. It was better than some of them, but still, it's not that exciting. But hopefully this one's a little better. I'll still watch them. So I watch shit anyways. I don't care.
You know what movie I like a lot? It only got like, not that it's saying much for it, but it only got like 3 stars on IMDb or something like that. But
Pootie Tang?
No, but that's an amazing movie, especially when he's like not singing and they're like, but no, it's called You Were Never Really There or Never Really Here. It's got Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, that movie? You liked it?
I liked that.
Oh, I
movie.
hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Like it had an interesting concept, but I was so bored.
It's a boring movie, I won't lie, but I like it. I don't know why I like it. I think I just like his method of Joaquin Phoenix's like method of how he does things, and like you can kind of like tell like in my opinion, like maybe it's just I connect to it. I don't know, but like I could relate to a lot of the ways he did things. And
yeah, I like I said, I liked the idea of the movie. It wasn't it's just one of those movies where there's never really like a big payoff. You sit through a lot of boringness and it just doesn't do it for you. It's nothing to do with the acting, nothing to do with even the story necessarily. It just doesn't. Yeah, it's like right there. It's like
the only thing that I was kind of disappointed about was the ending, just because I don't care if I spoil it to anybody. I'm going to spoil it.
It's old, isn't it?
There's the main villain or whatever, and you're expecting at the end for him to kill him. And I was getting kind of excited to see what he does with him, because he's basically killing everybody with a hammer through the whole thing. And so I'm like, yeah, he's going to kill this guy good with a hammer. And then the guy's already dead. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's disappointing. I really wanted to see that. But I don't know. I like the movie. I think it's pretty good, but it is kind of a slow, boring movie. I'll give you that. But
I was watching that new one that's got all the hype. Don't Worry, Darling.
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
I think it's on. No, it was on HBO. Yeah, it's on HBO Max or whatever. Don't Worry, Darling, but it's got that person that people are in love with, Harry Styles. Harry Styles.
Oh, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. And then it's got Chris Pine and chicks. I don't know their names.
Dude.
Whatever. Olivia Munn.
Okay.
Or no, Olivia Wilde. Maybe it's Olivia Wilde.
Olivia Wilde hasn't been in anything in a while, I don't think. Well, she was in the Ghostbusters movie. She played Gozer. I didn't even know that until I read the IMDb thing. But I feel like she hasn't really been in much lately.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh,
disappointing.
I seen a clip the other day. I don't know if it was to be funny or if it was an inside joke or what it was about, but Chris Pine's sitting like on a...
Yeah, that's when Harry Styles
spits on him.
Supposedly spits in his hand as he walks by.
He spit something on him. I seen it. He was
it looks like it, but it doesn't really...
It looks like gum or something. Like he spit gum on him.
Yeah.
But
that was part of the hype of the movie, because they were there together.
Oh.
They had Olivia Wilde or whatever in between them, and then she had something because she was like married to Jason Sudeikis or whatever. Or some shit, and then she was caught cheating or some shit. All this bullshit going on with that she might have been sleeping with Harry Styles and sleeping with Chris Pine, or Chris Pine wanted to sleep with her. All this drama with the movie, and so that's why they were like made this big deal out. But I watched the movie, weird movie, another one that like slowly builds, but it just doesn't have any story to it, and I did not enjoy it. Some people loved it, thought it was great, celebrities, all kinds of people, but it's not good.
One movie, if you want to watch a movie,
it's got a good thought. Another movie where you got a good thought, and kind of the idea behind the movie is that the fucking dude is having trouble getting work, and his wife's overworked, so he signs them both up for the program. He has to fucking knock her ass out and put her in this fucking program where they have a perfect life, basically, is what it is.
Oh,
and they're just
sounds familiar.
Sitting there, but he has to leave every day. You don't know what he's doing on the outside, and that's part of the problem with the movie, is that you don't know what's going on in the outside world. You just get this lame glimpse into the movie, and they do have a good life. They're fucking each other all the time. She's getting her cunt licked on a daily basis whenever she wants. They got food. They got everything they want. Everybody's friendly. They're all having parties. having good times or winning awards and getting promotions. But they live in this town, they can't leave it, kind of. But it's not questioned. Everybody's just happy. But there's, there's other things to do with it. But just the idea of it is good. And it just goes the,
Yeah.
They just make it too weird. They can't. No, normal people can't interpret weird things, I think, is what's going on with a lot of Hollywood stuff. Like, if you got a weird idea, like, it's hard for most people to interpret. Like, you get the Tim Burton movies. Tim Burton can kind of take weird and make it kind of fun, where a lot of people can't do that. They take weird and they just make it more weird.
Yeah.
Like, you got movies like The Witch. There's a weird concept of a movie. There's not many actors in it. Just doesn't do anything.
Yeah. You know what movie I liked? I don't know if you've seen it. It's a foreign film. It's called The Platform. It's on Netflix.
Oh, you told me about it. I still haven't got to watch
That's
it.
a pretty good movie, except for the end. You don't really realize it until the end, for me anyway. All right.
Yes, Dave. We'll be here.
Until the end, towards the end anyway. It's kind of like they're trying to like make a point, or like, I mean, most movies do, I guess, but this one was just like kind of like blatant when you realize it. It's like, it's like society where everybody could help each other, but people at the bottom, top don't help the people at the bottom and all this shit. And that's kind of like the
figure it out right away.
Yeah, and like after I figured that out, it kind of ruined the movie a little bit for me, but it's still a good movie. There's like a lot of cool parts in it and stuff, but it's kind of cheesy. But I can't remember if I told you that or not. There's this guy, he's got this idea where he's just going to start climbing up the platforms. He's like, I'm just going to climb up all the way to the top. And he's got a rope and he's throwing it up and people are grabbing the rope and he's pulling himself up. And he's like thinking he's just going to climb all the way to the top. And he's getting up there. He's making up the levels. And then he gets up to this one level and he's like, hey, catch this rope and pull me up. They're like, oh, you want us to pull you up? He's like, yeah. They're like, okay. And they're holding the rope and he's pulling himself up and he gets like almost to it. And the woman fucking turns around and lifts up her robe and fucking shits on him. He's like, ah! And he lets go and falls on the ground. And they're laughing. And he's like, yeah, fuck you. And he's screaming. He's got shit all over. He's like, yeah. And they're like, ah. And they're laughing. So he's like stuck there. He can't go any higher after that because they won't help him pull. But so she just fucking turns around and fucking pulls the rope off and just shits right on him.
This reminds me, for some reason, the video, Two Girls, One Cup. There's like a new drink thing. I think it's like a wine in a can, and it's called like Two Chicks Wine or something.
Yeah.
And I just think about that. Two chicks, one tin can. Two chicks, one can. Like, this bad choice of a name of a company.
Yeah. It's true.
I still never fully watched that video. So there's no point. It's not like I know. You don't even have to tell me what it was.
They ate shit. That's all you got to know. It's like, why watch it more after you see them do it once the first time? Then it's like, okay. Like
I seen that. I was watching. I was at a friend's bachelor party, and they had some weird porn movie playing the whole time that they bought for the bachelor party. And it was like weird shit, and one of them was like shit stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. And then to get up and go, I can't. I'm not watching that. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross. I can't do poop stuff. Anything to do with the butt.
Yeah,
I'm like not into the anal scene, or I've never understood the whole point where guys are like, I just want to stick it in her ass. Like
poop.
Some guys are just like really into butt sex, and like I don't get it. I've never gotten it. I mean,
like the only plus is you can't get them pregnant.
Some women like it, some women want it, and I mean, depending on the hotness, I guess.
Some guys want it.
Maybe depending on the hotness. After I've already had the real sex, afterwards, I might, if I'm in the mood but I won't like it, I won't enjoy it, and I won't want to do it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just like, oh, this woman's hot, I want her to want to be with me or want to keep banging me, I've got to do this so I can do it again.
I think if I was with a hot chick, And she was like, we were going together for a long time, and she finally broke it to me. She's like, regular sex is fine, but I really need it in my ass. I'd be like, all right, I'll talk to you later.
See,
I think
I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I could see myself if she was really hot and like I wanted to keep her. I think I might do it, but I wouldn't want to do it. And it would be, and another thing too would be the matter of if I would actually be able to stay hard enough to do it, because I feel like part of my mind already is a really active mind. Like even like I have trouble a lot of times, like I'm not gonna lie, in the bed. Sometimes my mind goes places and my dick goes soft because I'm thinking of all like 1,000 different things at the same time. I can't concentrate. So that on top of having the fucking asshole, on top of that would probably not work out because my dick would just get soft. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Like you said, I don't know if I mentioned this before on here, but I can't even watch that. I'm not gonna watch it.
No, I won't watch it either. Yeah, I won't watch it. As soon as it goes to the asshole, I'm like, all right, get out of there.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it.
I can't even imagine when they do stuff like pull it out and then the girl's sucking on it or something. I'm like, oh, how can you do that? No.
Yeah.
Not a good choice.
I don't get it. You know another thing that's weird about porn is when guys are like doing the DP thing and their dicks are rubbing like this and stuff. And I'm just like, how can you be okay with that?
Yeah.
And their fucking balls are slapping to each other and they're like, oh yeah. And like half of the friction they're getting isn't from the vagina, it's from the other guy's dick.
Yeah.
And they're getting off from like rubbing their dick against another guy's dick. And I'm just like, how can you enjoy that? Like you get, that's kind of gay. Like you're doing a kind of a gay thing. Like
my biggest peeve ever from any kind of porn is like, why don't the guy just enjoy it? Like there's never a time where if I wanted to, like if I was able to like bang a chick and then blow a load in her or something, would I pull it out because I was gonna jerk off on her face? Like that ruins the whole experience if that's what you're going for.
Yeah,
it's like
because they're doing it for you to see.
Yeah, that's the money shot.
Yeah, they're doing it for the viewers. They're doing it.
I'd rather have it realistic, the pleasure, than the fucking fake money shot.
I've had women.
I've never understood.
It's weird because like I've dated women where they want you to do it, but I don't want to do it because I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because some guys, when I say that to them, they're like, "Oh my god, dude, seriously, they want you to do it? That's so hot. Why don't you do it?" I'm like, "Cause I want to enjoy it. I don't want to pull out.
Yeah.
I want to."
What's the point of having the sex? You ruin it. You could just jerk off.
Yeah.
Like it feels good all to that point, and then I get the bad
you
part.
You have to finish yourself.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes I see ones where like they'll pull out and then the girl will finish the guy off, and that's better.
Fine, yeah.
But ultimately you want a cream pie, or if you have a rubber on. I don't
wheelchair cream pie.
Yeah, I don't really but yeah, I get what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And that brings up a good point about our one idea we have for a new porn site called Decent Dickin'. It's not giant dicks or small dicks, it's just decent dicks given decent dickin'. There's not going to be any crazy, positions, or it's going to be realistic scenarios.
Yeah.
None of this pizza guy coming to the house or step brother and step mom, step sister shit. It's going to be realistic scenarios. Guy talks to a girl maybe at a gas station and then is like, "Can I have your number?" And she's
girl's kind of attractive, but not really.
Yeah. And then he invites her over and then she comes over and then you guys don't have sex, but then after she leaves, you talk, you remember this chick that you used to talk to years ago and she's not that attractive, but you're like, I really need to bang. And then you get her to come over and you bang her.
Yeah.
It's like that.
And she wanted to date you like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And she's less attractive. Yeah, she's less attractive than she was.
She ate herself a little bit.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I'll talk to you, Jezebel. Because I really, it didn't work out with this girl, but I'm going to call her on Tuesday and see if she wants to hang out again. But until then, I need something in between.
Yeah. Have a guy maybe go on his Facebook DMs and scroll through all the people and then pick one and maybe have a few of them he talks to and then maybe one of them.
One out of three.
Yeah. And then he bangs her. something realistic like that.
Yeah,
On
he's kind of drunk. He's kind of drunk. He can't have an orgasm. He's like, fuck, I drank too much, I think.
Decent dickin'.
Yeah, decent dickin'.
I'm not gonna fuck your brains out, but I'll give you a decent dickin'.
I'll give you a good 4 minutes. That's for sure.
Like Ralphie May when he's like, I just women know what they're gonna get when they get with me because I tell them how it is. I say I'm gonna give you 20 minutes of straight fucking, and if you don't get off in those 20 minutes, that's not my fault. You were given the same amount of time as I was given. He was like, we both allotted 20 minutes, and
it didn't work out for you.
Oh, Ralphie May was a good one.
We were just talking about all the good comedians that have died, and I was showing him videos of Mitch Hedberg. He had all these stupid ass jokes, but he made them funny. And then Mitch Hedberg, obviously George Carlin died. Robin Williams, was it Greg Giraldo? Bob Saget just recently died. We've talked about him.
Oh, dude, you know what I didn't realize? I didn't realize that. Have you seen the preview for that movie Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
Ray Liotta's in that.
Oh yeah, I know. He's got like 3 more movies.
And then there's a movie. It's a horror movie, I think. I can't remember, with Bob Saget. And I want to say the guy that made one of the movies that Bob Saget's in. I can't remember which one it is. But he's from Michigan. The guy that made the movie, he's from Michigan, and
is he a famous actor?
Well, he's not an actor. He's like a movie producer or director or whatever. But he's from Michigan, and he's got a movie coming out, or maybe it came out already with Bob Saget in it. But then I didn't realize this, but there's a movie. It looks like a really low budget movie that came out in 2014. It's a Christmas movie, and it's got Robin Williams in it. He plays like the dad of like this like guy, like the old dad or whatever. And it's so weird to see the preview. I haven't watched it. It's on one of the streaming things, but I watched the preview for it. And it's just so weird to see because like he's in all these big name movies, like every movie he's in. Like he was kind of like an A-list, like but then he's like in this like one of the last movies he's in is this low budget like Christmas movie. It's weird. It's really weird. I can't remember the name of it, but he's like this grumpy. He's kind of like a grumpy dad type guy. I can't remember much about it.
Well, it's been like a resurgence of like Lifetime movies lately. Like all these people are into like these Lifetime movies.
I hate Lifetime movies.
And there's, a lot of Christmas ones, but they got, all the washed up actors and actresses like Brooke Shields. And if you've ever been at the gas station, those stupid videos they play.
Yeah.
Maria Menounos that gives you the lame ass fucking tips that don't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get more sleep, you should just fart a little more on a daily basis.
Funny trick about if you want to go to sleep is pretend to go to sleep and you fall asleep. Studies show that people that pretend to fall asleep a lot faster than people that don't.
Yeah, if you drink 1 more glass of water a day, you'll piss yourself at night. And it'll feel so good.
Yeah, those movies suck. And Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
So I gave my dad my Hulu password, and so he could watch Hulu at his house. And he was like, I don't know how to make my own profile. And I'm trying to tell him how. And I'm like, you know what?
The easiest thing in the world, because as soon as you log on, it asks you.
Yeah, well, he don't know how to do any of that. But I'm like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. Just use my profile. Yeah. He goes, well, won't that mess up your algorithm or whatever? I'm like, I really don't care. If I'll find what I want to watch. Yeah. If I don't search for things to watch. I know usually when I go on there, I know what I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, oh, okay. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made because all my dad watches is fucking Hallmark and Lifetime Christmas movies. So on my
which is so weird.
On my Hulu thing, it's everything. Every single thing you look at is Christmas movies and shows and stuff, but it's all like this weird, like fucking Hallmark and Lifetime shit, and it's like Natty Gant's Christmas sweater, and like
Mrs. Gam Gam got together with Gram Gram,
the Whispering Elf. It's like shit you've never heard of before, like the Secret Penny, like
the sweater everyone forgot.
The blinking bulb. Just weird shit. Like It never snows in Nebraska.
Letters with love from family.
Yeah, just weird names of these weird things, and it's always like cheesy pictures on the front that look real low budget and stuff. And I'm just like, how? Why? That's my dad's favorite stuff to watch.
And if you know his dad, like the least of things that he would engage in real life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so weird. Like, imagine. I don't think I ever spent a Christmas with you, like with your family back when they were all together. But I can't imagine that it was all just everybody together. I love you. Yeah. Pass the presents. Yes.
Oh, honestly, and I'm not going to get depressing about it or go into detail or anything, but I really, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I remember, quite a bit from my childhood. There's lots of things I don't remember, but I don't really remember Christmases. I don't really remember. I remember like Christmas time, but as far as the actual day of Christmas and like opening the presents and stuff, I don't have really any memories of that for some weird reason.
I remember a lot of them, but I was young when my parents split, so I didn't have any. There wasn't a whole lot of real Christmases going on, so it was mostly just me with one or somebody else, or with step family, whatever. So it wasn't like real Christmas ever. But mostly what I remember about Christmas is when I'd be at other families' houses, and they have amazing Christmases, and I would just be there.
As an adult, my whole adult life, the tradition's been pretty similar. Yeah. And basically the tradition has been where my dad comes over the night before and we stay up and we drink, and which isn't a lot for my dad. Yeah. He doesn't drink that much, but we'll have a drink. We'll say that. We'll have a drink. We don't drink, like get tore down, but we'll have a drink. We'll watch some Christmassy shit, go to bed, then wake up in the morning, have breakfast. My daughter, who doesn't live with me, will come in the middle of the day after she's done Christmas with her mom. And we'll open presents, me, my dad, and my daughter. And if there's a girl I'm dating at the time, she'll be there too. And then after that, we just kind of hang out. And that's maybe go to another family's house for a little bit, maybe visit Nanner. I've done that a couple times. And I don't know. It's not anything amazing, but it's not bad.
I just remember all the things like back when my dad's ex-wife, her family, her dad would have a Christmas. He had a different wife, and she had a different mom in a different house, and they have that shitty. I've talked about this. They're the ones with the shitty house and the cowboy movies. But the other family, it's Uncle Pete. And I liked Uncle Pete, and then his wife was Aunt Kay, or whatever, and they had a kid together, which was like my age. Yeah. But anyways, we go over to their house, and they'd have all the family over, and they had this big, huge thing, huge Christmas tree, fucking presents like covered a quarter of the room and shit like that. And then that was the type of Christmases that I usually got, was especially after my grandma died. But even when my grandma was around, it was like we'd have all these fucking Christmas presents there, and then at the end they'd be like, "Oh, there's one for Nathan." So everybody be opening presents, and I'd get one at the end. And sometimes it'd be something okay. Like one year was good. I think it was like a remote control semi truck, but my dad probably bought it for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they bought it, but you could put like a little oil in it, and it would blow out like black smoke.
That's cool.
It was cool. I don't know whatever happened to it. I don't think I ever saw it after that year.
See, that's how Christmas was when I was a kid. Not so much at my house, but we'd go to my aunt and uncle's house. And back then, everybody would buy presents for everyone. Yeah. So I got a present from every uncle and aunt. I got a present from my grandparents. I got just so many presents. And it was like that when I was a kid. And then after we all got older, like once I got like in my teens, we stopped all doing that because it was just getting to be too much or whatever. But I did have that when I was a kid, and it was pretty cool. I do remember that, but I don't really remember my Christmases like when I woke up and went down the stairs. Mm-hmm. I don't really have much of a memory. I got a couple like little images, but
we did okay when my mom and dad were together. I kind of vaguely remember. Like I said, remember My Pet Monster, and the one year I got that the big creature. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't real big.
Humanoid?
I don't remember. It was gray, and it had claws, and it had chains and shit on it. But
That sounds
some
cool.
kid stole it from me when I was in Grand Rapids, like the next year.
Fucked up.
But anyways, I really wanted this. So I got a couple good presents sometimes, and then I got like that RC car that did the flips.
Oh yeah, yep.
And then I forget what it was called. But anyways, so I had some good Christmases at home. Like you get a few things, but it wasn't no big thing. It was just a little bit of family.
Yeah.
But like I'm talking about like a real Christmas where it was built up and you had people over. But my grandma, when she was alive, we had a big Christmas at her house. So they lived right next door to us most of the time. So when we'd have Christmas, we'd go over there and then everybody's there, my aunts, uncles, and there'd be tons of Christmas presents. Everybody buy my grandpa stuff and my grandma stuff and all that. And I've talked about part of this before, but that's what I remember is it was all cool. And I was close with a lot of my family back then, my cousins and shit like that. But never once do I remember, I don't think I ever once got a present from any of my other family. Not one time, except for my grandma. And so that's what would happen. So I'd be at this big Christmas party, and I don't know if they did their own Christmas. They might have brought theirs there too, so that they could have it all exciting. And they're opening all their presents at my grandma's house, which is what I think was happening. But we had our own Christmas, so we didn't have as many presents, but they still didn't buy anything for me. So I was just there watching people open presents, and then I wouldn't get shit, nothing, that whole day. So we'd have Christmas. My grandma was the best cook on the planet that ever existed. Southern cook, and her cookies were the best fucking cookies you could ever imagine. All that stuff. So that was good. And she made the best tea in the world. And so that was always good. And whatever she made to eat, whatever. And then, like I said, I've talked about this before. I'm pretty sure on the show is that the next day, my grandma would always give me a card with $10 and say, "Don't tell anybody I give you this." Yeah. And then she'd give me, so I'd always get, I knew I was going to get something, but just, I had to sit through the debacle.
Yeah, that's messed up.
My whole entire family and not buying me or any of my brothers or stepbrothers or stepsisters or anybody presents ever.
Why would they even make you go?
I like being there because I love my grandma.
Yeah.
And my grandma.
One of the things that I hated was before they just outright stopped doing the Christmas parties with my uncles and aunts and my grandparents and stuff, they started doing a thing where we would draw names so kids would just get presents from one other kid or whatever, and that sucked because if your present wasn't good, that was all you're getting. You're not getting, like, before you might get one or two bad gifts, but you had a lot of good gifts, but you could get the best gift for the other kid, and then it's not the other kid's shit. Yeah, and it's not the other kid's choice what they get for you. It's the parents' choice. Yeah. And so, sometimes it was shitty things. And I remember one year I was so fucking pissed off because I put a lot of thought into my gift for who I drew, and I was so excited for my one present. I don't think I really had a good Christmas that year anyway, so I'm like really banking on this present to be good. And I'm like, that's better be good present, And I opened it, and it was clearly something that they picked up on the way there from like Walgreens or fucking, those like non-brand named toys that like, and it was an air hockey table that was like this fucking big. So like when you push the tabs, it'd be like, pew! Like there was no way you could play the air hockey, like actually play the air hockey thing because it would, like there was not enough room to like have reaction, and it would hit the puck so fast. So like you'd be trying to play just like bloop, 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 bloop. Like you couldn't really play, and you didn't have like the thing that you did that with. There was just two little things like a pinball machine on each side like that, and it was just like it was the worst fucking gift. I think one of the worst fucking gifts I ever got, and I was so mad and so offended. I was like, I put so much thought into this gift, and I was like genuinely excited to give my gift, and you fucking went on your way. I guarantee they were just like, oh, we'll just stop and grab something on the way. Oh, there's only a Walgreens. I guess that's where we're gonna go. That had to have been from like a Walgreens or maybe a Big Lots, maybe.
And then I remember when I worked at Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza, but same shit, Papa John's. And then, we did a Christmas thing there, and then we were supposed to draw names, and you didn't know who got you or whatever, and I drew somebody's name. I knew who they were at the time, but and I bought him a decent gift. I got him a DVD, I think, of the Step Brothers movie or something. Good gift.
Mhm.
Everybody loves that movie, and I don't think he saw when he opened it. He was all happy. Guess what? I never got a gift. I bought some fucker a gift, didn't get shit.
Yeah. I don't
know who would have gotten my name. I don't know who did, but they just chose not to buy me a gift. And how can I even? Do I go to even?
I just feel like drawing names, like you buy a gift and then they buy. I just think it's stupid. It don't make any sense. Just buy gifts for who you want to get gifts for. Yeah. Don't fucking do that. Just keep the money and they'll keep their money. Because most of the time, at least half the time, you're not going to get what you want. Yeah. I know we draw names, but it's different because we all know. We know each other. We know what we like. I'm not worried about that. But most cases, it sucks. And but everything, him and his brother and his family, they all know what I like, and I always like what I get. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that's just like another thing that pissed me off is my dad's side of the family, all his siblings, they're not rich, but they all have money. They all have nice stuff. And
live in nice houses.
They have nice things and everything. So you expect that they'd give you some nice presents. No, they don't. I would get so mad because I don't have a lot of money, and I've never really had a lot of money. And even though I didn't have a lot of money, I knew what kind of things they wanted, so I would get them those kinds of things, and they weren't cheap. Ooh, and we would exchange our presents. We'd draw names, and exchange presents. I'd be so mad. And this isn't for me. This is for my daughter and my cousin's kids. It's not for me anymore. So I even care about it more because I want my kid to get something nice, And so she sees all these kids getting nice things. And every fucking time we would go, she'd get something from like Five Below or something like that. And I'm like,
maybe $10.
Yeah, I'm like, are you serious? You fucking have all this nice shit, nice house and stuff, and I got your kid something real expensive that I could barely afford, and you got my kid something from Five Below. Like, it would piss me off.
What I remember, this is a real fucked up story, and this is an example of exactly what I was talking about. Like, there's some families that are good, like when I first, even before I had my son. I think this is before he was born. Even we had Christmas, and his mom had two different sides of the family because her parents are split up. So we had the ones and then the others, like her mom's family and then her dad's family. And then her dad's family, we went there the one year. And it was a big, huge Christmas. And they got a lot of successful people in their family. There's like a female, like one of her aunts used to be like a bodybuilder, and they're teachers and fucking like number one fucking what do you call it? Realtors in the city and shit, selling houses. They're rich. They're on a lake house. You got fucking shit, and all these people got nice cars, big cars, bunch of kids, and all this shit. And there's tons of presents. There's a shit ton of delicious food. They're playing beach volleyball outside and all this stuff, fun stuff. Then we go to the thing, and we had already been together for a long time. We hadn't had our kid yet, but probably over a year or whatever. And got a kid on the way, and they knew that. And then we get to all the gift giving, blah, 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 blah. All through, I mean, I don't give a shit personally, but if you're with somebody, obviously this would bother you if it's your family. But I think she got, out of all the people there, she got, I think, a $25 gift card, or maybe it was $50 from her grandma or whatever. And that was it. And then when they went to go take pictures, I didn't get shit. When they went to go take pictures, they asked me to take the picture of the family. After all that, I didn't get a Christmas present. She didn't get shit from anybody but her grandma or grandpa or whatever. And it wasn't much. Everybody else had shit tons of presents all over the place. And I got to take the picture, which, like I said, I don't give a fuck. I didn't know any of these people, honestly. A couple of them, but didn't bother me as much. But that's the kind of thing, like just a little communication. Like you should make the person that comes to your house at least feel somewhat welcome. Yeah. And then if it's your family, someone in the family's got to buy them something.
Yeah.
You can't have everybody getting shit and then you got two people there.
Oh, I know.
To split one gift between all of them.
That's just like my ex that, who not my last one, but the one before. We're on our. It was funny because I thought about it too. We're on our way. We're on our way to her family Christmas thing, and I'm going over all the presents we got for everybody, trying to make sure I got everybody. And then I'm like, "Oh, did your stepdad? What did we get your stepdad? We didn't get him anything." And she's like, "Oh, no, we didn't get him anything." And I'm just like, "Well, we should get him something." And she's like, "Yeah, he's gonna get lots of presents from other people." And I'm like, "How do you know?" And she's like, he will. And I'm like, let's go to the gas station and get him a present. And I felt bad going to the gas station, but it was the only thing we had available at the time. And we go, and I got him a $20 scratch off, and I got him a big bag of York peppermint patties. And I'm like, because he likes those. And I'm like, all right. So we go. That was literally the only gift he got. That was it. That was the only gift.
He's a bear. He can't say anything in front of everybody. But he's thinking in his head like, geez, there's one person here that actually thinks about it.
And then,
geez, why is my head
one thing that was cool about it, but at the same time frustrating for me at the time, was I've done many scratch offs. I've never won more than like $2 on them, and he won $200 on that scratch off. Nice. So it worked out for him.
Good gift.
Yeah, but I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, try to get everybody something and think about it as much as I can. I'm terrible at buying gifts, but people say I'm good at it, even though I think I'm terrible.
You're a good gift giver.
I go fucking crazy trying to find shit for people.
You just don't worry. You do a good job.
But I like to give gifts. I really don't give a fuck if I even get anything.
Yeah.
Because I've been disappointed so many times and I'm numb to it. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't get mad about it. I understand I understand how it would make a normal person feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was at that party and she was upset and she flipped out on people, and she was that kind of person. But I was like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's like, it's fine. I'll take the damn picture. So I'm not in your family picture, even though we're about to have a kid. Fine.
When I was dating this one girl, her mom got me Christmas presents, and this was years and years and years ago, and she didn't even bother to take the price tags off anything, and they were all like, I wasn't even expecting
$4.99.
They were all on clearance. Everything was clearance. So she got me like 2 pairs of pants and 2 shirts, I think, and I was in my early adulthood, so I was still at that age where like clothes kind of suck for Christmas, I wasn't really excited about clothes. Now I would have been ecstatic. But and it was so funny because none of it really fit me that good. So I went to go bring it back. And I think I might have got like, out of 4 things of clothes, I might have got $20 back. And for that. And I just thought it was funny because she didn't even hide the fact that they were on clearance. She just left the tags on them and left the orange stickers on them.
I mean, that's what you do. Save money when you can.
Yeah.
But I mean, you don't buy cheap stuff. Like I'm not going to go to Dollar Tree and buy somebody fucking gifts.
No.
But I do have that other story. I think I may have told it on here before. We've talked about my 27th birthday party.
Oh, damn boy.
Which is the
camping?
peanut butter song.
The peanut butter song?
Peanut butter song that you sing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that, I think.
Yeah, I sing a song under a table drunk about putting peanut butter on my
No, you're
balls.
just at the table at that point. We had a picture of you underneath my pool table where you're like, yeah. When you're drunk, you can't remember shit.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I was really drunk early on at the party because we were playing beer pong and I was destroying everybody. And so we got pictures of me destroying everybody. And but there's still one thing I think about all the time that just pops in my head when I'm thinking about stuff. And I'm sorry, Jim Rush, if you listen to this. Jimbo, I'm sorry. At the time, I don't know what was it. It's one of the most embarrassing things of all time. And it still embarrasses me to this day. And I'm 40 years old. So it's been 13 years and I still think about this. And it's really embarrassing. But when he got me a gift for my birthday and he handed it to me and I'm drunk. And he handed me and it's a dartboard. And It's a dartboard, but it's one of those dartboards that's not spongy. It's like the plastic ones with the plastic darts.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And
With the little
keeps
pegs.
the score.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the average one you get at any store. You got to go like this. You got to go to like a specialty store normally to get a good dartboard.
Yeah.
And anyways, he hands it to me, and then I'm like, I had the exact same dartboard, but I was so drunk for some reason I thought it was a different one, and I had this long speech to him. I said, "Thank you so much, Jim. Thank you. It's a great gift." I was like, "It's amazing. I have, someone already got me a cheap ass." Cheap ass dartboard already for my birthday, and it's one of those cheap ass ones for Myers and whatever. And thanks you so much. Like I want a good dartboard, blah blah blah. I love playing darts. And I had this whole fucking speech, this embarrassing speech, and literally on the box it says Meyer, $17.99 or whatever it was. It's the fucking exact wording. It's the most embarrassing. And I talked to him for like 10 minutes about how great this dartboard was.
It's funny when you
when you're so drunk, you don't know. What
I think I've had it a few times where I'll be talking about something.
It's embarrassing.
And it's literally the thing you're talking about is like something that the person does or something they did or whatever. And then you realize in the middle of the thing, they're like, but then and you're trying to backtrack on it and like sugarcoat it and stuff.
Well, that's the worst part about that story is I had no backtrack because I had no idea what I was talking about. Like it literally was the same exact fucking dartboard I already had. And I'm talking shit. But sorry, Jim. The gift was great. Thank you.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is, but I'm so drunk and I thought it was a different dartboard. But it wasn't the dartboard I wanted. And then no one ever bought me one, so you're just as great as anybody that bought me a dartboard ever. But yeah.
I was doing Uber Eats last night, and I had to go to this restaurant to pick up some food, and it was a bar, and so people are in there eating. It's just, it's Saturday night, and there's this guy just giving me this look, like tough guy look, And I'm just looking at him, and he's got like pajama bottoms on, and they're like Christmassy pajama bottoms, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy looking at me like this for? Just looking me up and down while I'm just waiting for them to get the food for the Uber Eats thing. And then I look at the back of his shirt, and it says security, and I'm like, there's a motherfucking security guy in here with pajama pants on, giving me the look like,
oh, that's the tough guy.
Yeah, I'm like,
either he actually is really strong and tough because he's so comfortable he can go to work in pajamas.
I just wouldn't take him seriously. And honestly, like if I was in a tussle with him, I'd just pants him because they don't tie. I'd just be like, whoop, and then he'd try to chase me and he'd fall down because they'd be around his ankles.
Or you just kick him real good in his nuts.
I can't. I can't take anybody seriously in pajamas. If you got pajamas on,
I like to wear pajamas.
But not at work.
No. And there was a guy, even when I worked at the Hut of Pizza, and you weren't allowed to wear pajama pants. The dude came in every day in fucking pajama pants and cut pizzas and shit. Like it's not even sanitary. Like you got your disgusting ball sweat all inside those fucking things. He probably dripped off on them and shit. Who knows?
That's not right.
Not sanitary to work at a Pizza Hut.
Not okay.
Hello there. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, my name's Mr. Frisky. I'm the Christmas elf. I like to sneak inside your house while you're sleeping and fondle your sugar plums.
Sugar plums.
They call me Frisky, the Christmas elf. I come tickle your little plums, your sugar plums.
Oh, I got nice sugar plums.
I come in there and I slip under your covers and I just get in there real gentle like, and I just play with your little sugar plums.
Deep down in my blood.
They're all glistening like the Dickens, the Charles Dickens.
Charles.
Come over there and play with your little Charles Dickens.
Why don't you come over and play with your cock and balls?
Cock and balls.
Cock and balls. I made some jelly sandwiches. You can eat a couple sandwiches and then play with your cock and ball.
If you're not gonna do it, play with your brothers. Share,
Share, baby.
share, play with your brothers.
Where's Jake? He used to come over and play the boys' cock and balls all the time. He's like, I don't know what happened. He had a big one. You know that. Adam Sandler.
Back when he was funny.
He's still all right. But it's just a lot of people have too good of a life now. That's the problem. But he did. I will always applaud him. That Chris Farley song he does on a special is amazing. Like it's the closest thing I could come to crying because I love Chris Farley so much. Like it was a really good song.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not really funny. I guess I'm just saying a lot of the shit that comes out now.
Yeah,
Him as a person, he probably still just as funny.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the stuff that just comes out now is. I still haven't seen that. I know it's not a funny movie, but that Uncut Gems movie,
yeah.
I want to see
you,
it.
you gotta watch it.
Yeah, I still haven't
Definitely
watched
worth
it, but
he's got the new one, the basketball movie that people are saying is really fucking good too. I forget what it's called, but it's on Netflix, of course.
You know what's funny is a lot of people don't realize that Billie Eilish stole her look from Adam Sandler. You know, like
she's got some huge knockers.
I want to see him. I want to see him bad. I've been waiting for.
Like there was a video I saw recently. She's wearing a regular T-shirt, but she like lays back or something. They're just like,
yeah.
So,
and then she's hot, but she's kind of stupid.
Yeah,
she says some stupid stuff. Like one day,
her songs are stupid.
One of the things she's said or posted or whatever once was like, "Guys don't like women with big boobs." I'm like, "What guys? Who are you talking about?
Who?
What guys are you talking about?" And then she's like, always
talking
talks
about the reason why there's 30,000 breast augmentations a year.
Like there's well, she like always is talking about like how guys don't like women with curves and stuff. Who?
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
Name them.
I like women with curves. Like I don't understand.
Most guys like natural women.
Yeah.
The problem is that all these celebrities are exposed to unnatural women.
Yeah.
And then they start to see that all the time.
I like women. I hate it when I think I've talked about this on here too. I'm sorry if I repeat myself, but I hate it so much when women blame men for having to look the way they look. I don't give a fuck.
Men don't give a shit.
I don't. I really don't. Don't wear
about
makeup.
The hair.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Don't wear makeup. I like women without makeup.
Zero.
That makes it even better because then when we want to go somewhere, you can just be ready.
I told the story of my son's mom when, I was working fucking 70 to 85 hours a week. And she wakes me up. First time I've ever seen her wear makeup. She puts on all this fucking makeup, and it's been years since she's done it. She's got like blue shit on her cheeks. She wakes me up out of the blue. I'm fucking tired as fuck. And I can barely see, and I just see a bunch of fucking blues and whites and pinks and who knows what fucking colors. And I was like, it looks like a clown. That's the first thing that came to my head. That's all I could see was a bunch of clown makeup. And she got so pissed off and threw all her makeup in the garbage and threw a big old fit. And I was like, I don't even think I argued. I just turned around and went back to sleep. And what do you want me to say? I done told you I don't like makeup. Why? What's the point of makeup?
Yeah.
It just makes your face worse because you're covering up all your pores. And then you end up with like fucking zits all over your face and shit. It makes you look worse and feel worse and your skin's worse. I want it nice.
I want natural. I want fresh.
Clean your skin. Clean it.
I want the fresh.
Fresh. Fresh like a fresh motor.
I'm getting sore from sitting here.
Yeah, me too. There was we gotta end soon anyways.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Billie Eilish though, she's got really nice boobs, and that's what I was gonna say. Is she did a TikTok or something where she's dancing with a bunch of other girls, and she's just letting everything hang out, and she does do a nip slip, but they put little emojis over her nipples, and I don't know where the original video is, so I can see the boob, and I'm like, somebody has it because she put little emojis over there to cover it up, and I'm just like, I want to see. I want to see the boobs.
But I will say, this all the accolades that she gets for being this amazing singer, she's awful.
I think she's got a really good voice. I think she is.
Maybe, but she doesn't use it. Their songs are,
Yeah, but there are songs like for and I'm not defending her. I'm just saying both sides of the case. But she sings for the new James Bond movie, and she sings that song good. She can sing. She can sing good, but a lot of her songs are dumb, and I don't understand it.
I was at the movie theater one time in the bathroom, and I think my son was there, Nugget, and I heard some weird fucking song. I didn't know nothing about her at the time. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
I was like, what the fuck is this? And he was like, who's Billie Eilish?
I'm the
I was like,
bad
what?
guy. Is it that song?
I have no idea. It's all like, but every time I've ever heard her sing, like I've never heard her music much, so I don't listen to that shit. But
she can sing
like,
good.
When I hear, it's always like she's not actually. She's like,
I know what you mean. I don't know why she does that because she can sing good. She has a really good singing voice. But yeah, I know what you mean. I just want to see her boobs. I just want to see her boobs. That's all.
Pop them out.
Just do it. It would make me feel happy.
That's the funnest part. Like.
Yeah, when
if you're watching,
right when they're about to come out, and then they're like,
and you get to see whether they're fucking heavy or they're super jiggly.
Me and Nanner watched Alexander Daddario do it like 1,000 times. We couldn't stop on True Detective over and over again. Just like,
like out of most of the porno movies, if you watch them, most of the time I'll skip 90% of the movie and I'll just watch the part or pass them out, and then it's either disappointing. Like, like you didn't really pull them out; you just kind of let them out. That's disappointing. You gotta build the enjoyment. Like,
ladies, if you're watching, if you didn't know that, now you know that's a trick you can do.
So every guy, if they see you do that all slow and it just pops out, you done won the battle. You get whatever you want instantly.
I'm ready to be done.
Kitty, leave the tree alone. That's a bad kitty.
I have to watch back the last video, but there's something very important that I wanted to talk about, and I forgot last time. And I think I don't know if it was to do with the Tesla stuff or if that was during the video. I don't know.
I watched this guy take a lithium battery and he opened it up, and it was just a wrapped up piece of lithium. It's just like, it was like literally like a sheet of lithium that's wrapped up in a coil and put in a battery, like a AAA or a AA. He took it and he unraveled it up, and it was literally just a sheet of lithium, and he threw it in a glass pot of water, and it exploded. It exploded the whole thing. I did not know that about lithium. So
lithium's dangerous.
Explodes.
And there's been a problem with Teslas and things like that, that if they get too hot, sometimes the battery explodes, things like that. And there's things like when you're a high-low driver, you learn they got the big cell batteries with the water in them, and the water comes on. You got to keep them filled up, because if you don't, then it can build up too much heat, and it can.
Dave never came back.
Stuff.
Dave, you lied.
I knew he wouldn't. He never does. He said, call me back, and he didn't call me back all the time.
That's a bad Dave.
Bad Dave.
That's a bad Dave.
Bad Dave.
He's got all those hot women over there with him.
Yeah.
He's got all those hot women, and he's just over there paying attention to all the hot women and not us.
Yeah.
Probably got Alexander Daddario over there.
But yeah. But I was going to, something to do with.
I'm sorry.
See, I don't know if I talked about it. That's what I don't remember, because I didn't watch the whole episode. I watched some of it. But soon, from what I'm hearing, we're going to find out soon that not only are they proving, even in the United States, they found footprints that they dated back 27,000 years ago, some shit like that. And there's a big belief that there was impact that happened with meteors that caused the Great Flood, and that's why all the big religions, 25,000 years ago, have all these stories in Mexico, Brazil, fucking Europe, Asia, everywhere, Africa, all have the same stories about someone showing up after a great flood and saving the people and all this stuff, because there was a great flood. They're finding evidence here, even in the United States, of footprints that were dated around 27,000 years ago, 25 to 27. I think it's like 26,800 years ago. This is the exact date, but there was like multiple meteor hits in the world, and it eliminated everything. Like we had technology. And you think about all the things, you get the fucking pyramids. There's pyramids everywhere. There's a fucking pyramid in Ohio, not far from here, that nobody knows about. I mean, people know about, but until you see it, you don't believe it. It's a big pyramid. Mexico has pyramids built on top of like most of the pyramids that you see, there's pyramids on top of pyramids on top of pyramids. If you go to the Pyramid of Giza, inside the structure where the, what do they call it? The fucking King's Chamber. There's 70 ton stones, 350 feet in the air. There's no fucking way to do that. Mm-hmm. There's no way to do that now. But something happened. Someone had technology, and it didn't happen 7,000 years ago. Otherwise, we'd have evidence of the technology. Mm-hmm. But there's something going on soon, and we'll have to figure it out. We'll be paying attention. I just want to let everybody know that I think that we're onto something to do with this Tesla power. Tesla power is a whole different thing that I've always said was worked. Elon Musk says it doesn't work, but I think it does work, which is you can power everything with free energy. Mm-hmm. And free energy, like even like perfect holes that are in Egyptian statues all over the world, all kinds of things like perfect holes. We can't recreate them still today with our technology as advanced as we are. But it makes sense that using the power of it's basically like using it's not even necessarily electric. Like electric, that's one thing for power, but you don't need like power structures to create power, but you need frequencies. It's like frequencies. You use frequencies to manipulate things, and you can lift large structures with everything in the world has a vibration automatically. It's called Brownian movement, and so you can lift things. And the same thing, like I said, with brain, learning how to use the brain. We're trying to come up with all this brain technology. Guess what? Just like a radio, you use brain, you use fucking frequencies to knock out information. So if we could all figure out the frequency like a fucking whale, we can make these sounds. You can pick up the frequency, you hear it, just like the radio. Mm-hmm. You send a frequency to the radio, it goes through, and you hear it. It all makes sense that you use frequencies and all these geometric shapes and geometry and fucking sound waves and fucking electricity, which is everywhere. All it is energy. Energy is heat. All energy is heat. So you create these energy. Anything that has energy moves, and heat is caused by the movement of everything. If something's still, it's likely it's frozen. But if it's not frozen, it just starts to heat. The more it heats, the more it takes energy. The hotter it gets, it evaporates. And then when it can't evaporate anymore, it builds into this tiny little thing and it explodes. Because the energy has nowhere to go.
Everything's atoms and everything's vibrating and everything's like part of my atoms in my hand I can't even see, but they're transferring with this chair. Yeah. Like we can't even comprehend it, but everything is connected. We think we're separated from everything, but we're not. We're all connected.
There's all kinds of shit going on, and once we figure it out and stop thinking like retards and thinking linear, everything's linear. You got a line, the line goes there, and that's where the energy goes. That's not how it works.
It's all together.
That's how you focus energy.
Yeah, it's all shmibby kaba.
But if you really truly want to penetrate another universe or travel through time, penetration. You just got to figure out how to use the energy around you and just transport instantly. You transport instantly through energy. And the same thing with lifting something heavy. Is anything actually heavy? Because it's all just atoms. It's all separated. Nothing's touching each other. It's all working together. So there's like a thing holding it together. Like this fucking computer, my hand isn't a block. It's not a fucking pure cement block, but it's all held together by something. It works, obviously, but It's not just one big giant thing that's just ooh.
Yeah.
You got to think about things.
I gotta get some.
All right. So we'll talk about that next time soon. And if you don't like, subscribe, comment down below, then fuck you.
Yeah.
Bitch.